Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Krystle, just in case you were new here, and today I have my October TBR for you. So recently I posted autumn reads, my TBR for the autumn, and I have another TBR for you guys. Usually autumn extends all the way to December for me, so that's just my tentative TBR for this season, but I am having a separate TBR for October for the spooky season. There are readathons coming up and I have a lot of time to read. I have a week vacation, so I wanted to add some more books to my TBR. So let's just get into them. The first book that I have here is The Strangers, and this is by Margaret Peterson Haddix. I've been seeing this all over BookTube and Bookstagram, and it just sounds like the perfect fall read. Spooky, middle grade that I've been looking for. I believe it's about three siblings who are tracking like these three missing persons or kidnapped kids in their like area, and they have like the same first and middle names as them, which I think is pretty bizarre and probably very fitting for the type of book it is. It looks like kind of like alternate worlds in a way from the cover, so I'm really looking forward to getting into this. I love middle grade this time of year. I don't know about you, but there's just something special about a spooky middle grade book, and a lot of them are really scary, to be honest with you. Some of them really do give me the creeps, so I'm looking forward to getting to this season. The next I have here, The Silent Companions by Laura Purcell. Now this is a gothic, dark, literary fiction, super spooky. It's definitely ghost story vibes. I'm loving it so much. Did not expect it to be this dark and this creepy and spooky. I'm on the edge of my seat while reading this. I actually did recently start it and I'm loving it so much. So I think if you're gonna pick up any book this season, I think you should pick this up because so far I am loving it. It's perfect for this time of year. And the atmosphere, we're all looking for like that perfect autumn atmosphere, and this book has that. I'm telling you, pick it up. Next, I have The Picture of Dorian Gray, and this is by Oscar Wilde. I've never read this, and I want to read it. It's a classic. It's about like a painting that keeps our main character young or something like that. I don't really know the whole synopsis, but I can't wait to get into this because I've heard such great things about this, and it's a very creepy, spooky story, and I believe it's perfect for this time of year. I've been wanting to incorporate more classics into my TBRs, so you're gonna notice in the future I'm gonna have at least one in my TBR every month or every season. Next I have The Haunting of Rookwood House, and this is by Darcy Coates. You can't read in October without incorporating a Darcy Coates. She writes the perfect cookie cutter ghost stories, and they all scare the crap out of me. I love them. All of her stories are free on Kindle Unlimited as well, so it's really easy to pick them up if you have a Kindle. So highly suggest her books. They are just the perfect ghost story, and she just gets me every time. None of them really disappoint. I wouldn't say that they're perfect 5-star reads by any way, but they're just great, quick reads that are haunted house stories that we're all looking for this time of year. This is the Horror in 24 book club pick. This is Pet Sematary by Stephen King. I will be reading this on audiobook because it is narrated by Michael C. Hall, who I love dearly. He is the main character in Dexter, and the narration is just beautiful of that audiobook. So if you want to read along with us, definitely join us. We have a Discord. All links to the book club are down below. I can't wait for this. This is my favorite Stephen King book, and I can't wait to see what you all think about it. Let me know in the comments down below if you're going to be joining us. I would love to know. Next, I have The Last House on Needless Street, and this is by Catriona Ward. I've been wanting to read this since I got it in August. It's been just sitting on my shelf, but I feel like October is the perfect time to read it. It is a spooky book. It's about the last house on Needless Street, and it's like a boarded up house, but there's an old man living there. There's a talking cat. Yeah, so I'm curious to see what this book is about. I don't really know anything about it. I feel like I'm seeing it everywhere, but no one's really giving much of an opinion on it or much of a synopsis on it. So I love to go into these books blind, so please don't tell me anything. I'm getting to it this month. The next I have here, Hell House by Richard Matheson, who wrote I Am Legend as well. And I know all my Horror in 24 hosts are gonna love this because they've all pretty much read it and loved it. So I am finally picking it up. This is a horror haunted house book. This is strictly horror. It's pretty gory, it's pretty brutal from what I hear, and I know it's gonna tug at my heartstrings, but I have to read it. It's a classic in the horror genre and it's time for me to pick it up. I believe there are movies based on this, but the book I heard is so much better than the movies. So I'm gonna read this before I watch any of the movie adaptations. Next book I have on my TBR is The Horseman by Christina Henry, which I've also started this book already and I'm loving it so much. The Legend of Sleepy Hollow by Washington Irving is one of my favorite short stories in the world. It is the perfect story to get you in the mood for fall. It just paints this picture of Halloween for me and I just love it so much. So I'm very excited that Christina Henry, who is one of my favorite horror writers, she is excellent and super underrated. She came up with this, like, I want to say it's like after the fact of Sleepy Hollow. So this is like the town after the events of Sleepy Hollow happened. So I'm really curious to see how this is and I'm so excited. The next I'm going to be picking up Slewfoot by Brom, which sounds super spooky and scary, and it's a folk horror book. It's illustrated and I'm looking forward to getting to this. Brom has written Krampus, which I think is so cool because that also is a folk horror telling, and I'm looking forward to getting into this book, and the images inside just look so creepy and scary and I can't wait to get to this. So let me know if you've read it, if it's on your TBR as well. I want to say it's about a witch. I definitely get witch vibes, the movie The Witch, so looking forward to this. It is taking place in Pioneer, Massachusetts, New England, I think, area, so kind of witch trials-ish time period. Looking forward to it. Lastly, I'm going to be reading The Lighthouse Witches by C.J. Cook, which is a book that takes place off of like a Scottish island. And these two sisters go missing and one sister returns and she's the same age that she was when she went missing. I believe it was like 20 years ago or something like that. Sounds like the perfect ghost story, spooky story. I believe the lighthouse that this does take place also hosted like some witch trials and witch like murdering. There's two different timelines, I believe, as well with this book, so it sounds like something right up my alley. You know, I love a good witch book during this time of year, and CJ Cook is great at writing thrillers and horror as well, so I'm looking forward to getting into this book this season. I have it on my Kindle. I got it from NetGalley, and I am actually hosting a blog tour for it, so I suggest you check it out as well if it's not on your radar. If you haven't read The Nesting, put it all on your radar. This is a great new author that I'm really enjoying, and I think you guys will too. That is it. That is all I have for you today for my October TBR. Let me know if any of these books are on your TBR as well, and if you have any other book suggestions for me, please join the Horror in 24 book club this month in reading Pet Sematary. We are going to have so much fun, and there will be a live show at the end of the month for that book. But for now, just make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. I would love to get to 3K very soon. I'm headed in that direction, so make sure you share my videos as well. But on that note, guys, I will be talking to all of you soon. Stay spooky, friends. Bye.